if you could share what that was.
The first time.
Sure.
Anytime, yeah.
Anytime.
Be
Yeah,
honest.
just what it was and what it was like, you know, if you could share that with Danijela, like, you know, some of the things you were concerned about and what kind of pushed you over the edge to make that call.
I'll share the last time. That's the freshest in my memory, and that was when I picked up the phone and I called. The first phone call was to an interventionist that was referred to us by somebody. I can't, for the life of me, I can't remember who referred him. I should. And the interventionist, I remember feeling very nervous, very frantic, very scared, and really all over the place. But I remember just telling myself, focus on what these people are telling you, focus on what information they're giving you, and just stay in the moment and focus on what's at hand, because if I miss any piece of information or if I miss any step in this process, I just, you know, didn't want to mess anything up.
When I found out that we were pulling into that treatment center, I felt terrified because I knew I was going somewhere. I didn't know where. I was really angry because I felt like I was being dropped off and abandoned, like at a psych ward. I had no idea what treatment was. I didn't know. The only thing I knew was through the movies. I just remember feeling such shame that if my family knew, that if they knew the real me and what was going on behind the scenes, I would be done for. So I remember doing everything I can to hide, and to pretend everything's okay. And I used to think, okay, maybe they don't notice, maybe they don't know. And come to realize later, everybody knows I'm the last one to know.
I remember trying to coordinate with Andre, the interventionist, then call Mama and give her an update, then call Tata and give them an update, and then get them on the same page, because then, you know, they're not talking to one another. I would just try to be supportive and try to help you in any way I could. And it just led to more frustration and more resentment because things weren't changing, things weren't getting better, and we just end up being back in the same point of fighting or arguing or just distant. We used to have fun and love to spend time with one another and laugh and joke around, and then it just turned into venomous.
My biggest fear, when I came into action, I was just like, that's when it hit me. When everything was out of my system, I'm gonna lose my family. I already lost my mom. I'm like, I'm gonna lose my brother, I'm gonna lose everything. I thought into action, our relationship was over. It was done. I was so surprised that you and Mama came for family weekend. I mean, I was blown away. And then and that was like the biggest gift that I got. And that was my biggest fear. And that's one of the big key things that keeps me going. I cannot lose my family. I cannot. You know, I want Tata to have a daughter. I want you to have a sister. You know, I want that unit to now, and now I strive to do everything I can not to be that person to destroy us,
Brian, can you talk to Danijela about what it was like for you to start after I would imagine losing hope in a lot of ways, to start seeing change that instilled some confidence that this could be lasting? It's like some of those signs that, wow, I could maybe have my sister back, or starting to see some of the things again of like the sister that you used to feel early.
I remember some of the first initial signs. The first time it resonated with me that you were changing and growing was not only admitting what your problems were, but admitting that and owning your problems. One of the things that used to frustrate me and upset me the most was that whenever something went wrong before, it was never your fault. Yep. It was always somebody else's fault, and this person and that person. And then when you started owning your own problems and owning your mistakes and owning your own behavior, I remember I was like taken back, like, wow. I was like, I've never heard those words, and I've never heard her talk like that. And I remember even telling Mama, I'm like, wow, this is different this time. And then that glimmer of hope shined through, and I remember feeling just like a positive, good feeling. And then, I started reminding myself of all the other times before. And of course, me being me, I'm like trying to balance it. I'm like, well, it's still early. Don't go crazy. Don't, the world hasn't changed yet. But I remember feeling this was like, wow, and really encouraged and happy that you realized yourself, some of the basic things around you and your behaviors were a result of your own actions. And I remember, I remember we used to fight about that when you were using a lot. I remember one time we got into a really bad argument, and I told you once, when are you gonna realize that the sum of all your decisions in life lead you to where you are today, and I think that really hurt you at that time, and you got really upset about it. And then hearing you come out and say it yourself, I was absolutely amazed. And then over time, when you were excited about the work you were doing at the center, the work you were doing on yourself, and that you were passionate about not just the center and not about the culture at the center, but passionate about the work you were doing and your accomplishments. And I remember feeling like this huge sense of relief and joy and happiness at the same time. I'm like, wow, she's changing. Like, this is working. And I honestly, I never thought I would see that or feel that. And then to see you start growing and evolving and becoming passionate and not taking steps backward, but taking steps forward. It was I'll never forget it. I never forget after family weekend and going to when you first left the center and that first apartment and halfway house where you were. And after, and I knew how hard that was for you to go somewhere and leave the center after being there for the few months you were there. But then seeing you embrace it too, that was huge. The fact that, you were ready to take that next step and that you didn't end up running back to the center within a couple weeks, and you didn't end up changing your behavior either. I thought that was another huge monumental step. And I think that was also a pivotal point for me in then realizing, like, wow, you're changing and you're growing. So those were like the first initial signs, and then from there on it's been every day has just been better and better.
I do want to say that gratitude isn't even I can't even use that word. I guess not giving up hope on me and having that devotion and keep going, like working on the other side of it, I see how hard it is for families and how hard it is for me to talk to people in active addiction. And then I have so much compassion for you now, and I think about you a lot when I'm on the phones. I think about you a lot when I have like family members that are really done, that I'm like, look, you need to do this. They're like, we don't care. And then I'm filled with like a sense of like compassion for you and like devotion that you did not give up on me, that you did it. Because to go to a treatment for the fourth time and exhaust a family's resources and at the time I didn't look at it, I didn't know, but I want you to know that I know the resources that you used. I know how hard it was for you, and I realize that. And this isn't even gratitude. I'm saying that I'm forever devoted to you, and I want you to know that you saved my life. You played a huge part. You were like the chief. That's why I want to do this with you. Not mama, not tata. You were the chief, and you're the one that didn't give up on me. And that to me is devotion for the rest of my life. It's not even gratitude. You played a part in me being alive today. And if I'm not alive today, I can't be alive to help other people and change other people's lives. So you created, in fact, a butterfly effect, and that's because of your love for me, and you didn't give up on me.
Wow, that's amazing. I
can't even.
Wow.
So I always talk about you. You're my hero. I remember one time you said that. I know, and I look at you as my hero. You saved my life. And nobody can give a gift, birthday gifts, go to South Beach, all of that stuff. But to grant somebody and not give up on them, I see families give up on their kids all the time and siblings. And you didn't. That means the world to me. And I want you to know that. I want you to know how much I'm devoted to you and how much I look up to you. You're everything to me. And I could tell you in the future, no guy in the world's ever going to come. If they can't match up to my brother, you know? So it's not
Wow.
even gratitude, it's devotion.
Wow.
Thank you.
I'm speechless.
Thank you. I want to give him a
give him a
hug.
big
I
hug.
love you so much.
I love you too.
That was awesome.